So I've been asked what I use to record these videos and kind of my process for that by a few people, and I thought that I would take a few minutes to share a little bit about that. So I'm filming this on my iPhone 6S right now because I wanted to show you the camera that I use. Not because that's critical, but because that was asked. So I use a Sony E057, which is a small mirrorless camera that shoots in 4K. It's great because it's really compact. It's a small camera that is a high quality camera, and it has a nice little wide angle lens, so I can have it pretty close to my face and still capture me and all that good stuff. I use this Rode, R-O-D-E, Video Micro, I think is what it's called. Yes, Video Micro, that just screws on the top here where a flash would normally go, an external flash. And the nice thing about this Sony as opposed to a smaller point and shoot is that it has a mic input on it so that I can record with this fuzzy guy, which is actually much smaller on the inside. It just has a big windscreen on the outside so that wind and whatnot do not cause the audio to sound terrible. I also use this little Manfrotto Pixie. There are two sizes. This is the smaller size. I'm pretty sure there are two sizes. So it is a nice small tripod that sets up like that. You can use it as a handle. This little button on the side here, it allows you to manipulate the camera, which is very handy for moving back and forth between holding it and setting it up on things. I'm shooting throughout the day and I'm editing as I go. So a lot of people ask how long it takes to do each episode. 3 to 5 minutes worth of video is probably 2 hours worth of shooting and editing, I'm guessing. But I don't ever do it at one time. So as the day goes on, I'm shooting little bits and pieces, and I'm taking 30 seconds, 2 minutes to shoot something around Dateline or, you know, that kind of thing. Every day I'm trying to observe, I'm trying to take the positive and negative turns that happen in my day and trying to find something valuable to share. So the story that I'm trying to tell through these is kind of unfolding as the day goes along. So for the most part, I'm editing as I go. It's pretty rare that I do a lot of editing all at once. I use Final Cut Pro. I have Premiere. I just haven't used Premiere. So Final Cut is the thing that I know, so that's the thing that I use. A lot of the audio that I use comes from two different places. Number one, a friend of mine who I used to play in a band with, Mark, he has a band called No-Fi Soul Rebellion, just super catchy, fun, funky kind of stuff. So he has graciously let me use a lot of his material just however I want to. The other thing is I record a lot of the little instrumental bits and pieces just on my iPad using GarageBand. It's super easy. It certainly is not the most full-featured. It has a ton of limitations, but it is easy, and I can put together a little loop in 15-20 minutes and have it in the video that day. So now let me get to the point. Let me get to the real point. This is all very interesting, I'm sure, but here's the deal. None of the gear matters. If you care about the thing you're trying to communicate, if you care about the art you're trying to make or the impact you're trying to make, just make it. I would much rather have somebody with like an iPhone or like with coloring crayons or something like that making something meaningful than somebody with the most expensive gear and the best tools that just has nothing interesting to say. But if you are putting off starting something because you don't have the right gear, figure out what the quickest, simplest, easiest, least expensive way to get started is, and get started as quickly as possible. That's my advice. So don't buy this camera if you think that this camera is gonna solve your problems, because it won't. Most of the problems are related to getting started, not the actual gear. Yeah, go make something.